Hello, hello, hello. And we are back. Another week's episode of Live at 5 with me, Nadine Mendez from Amazing Journey Realty. I am always happy to be here at this moment, and I hope you're all doing well. Um, from my New Jersey and my fellow New Jerseyans, I do hope that you are safely at home in light of the cold snap that is about to take place or is already happening. I hope you're all safe and sound. And for those who have to be out there, or first responders, my heart, my prayers go out to you during this tumultuous period. And, we just hope for the best for you. I also have my prayers are still out for those who have and are still grappling with the devastating fires that are affecting in California right now. Prayers, my heart, my prayers still go out to you. And we know it's a tough period, and us as realtors, we fully understand how it is for you and your livelihood and the loss of lives, and it cannot be easy. So we still, we do take the time out to consider all the challenges that are being faced with the people out there, and we want to just send our love and blessings to you. Um, oh, it's good to see that I see a couple of people online. Hi, good to see you. All right. Before I get any further as well, I just wanted to encourage you to like, share, subscribe to this channel. If it's not beneficial to you, share it with a friend who might benefit from this real estate um, um, goals. So I am Nadine Mendez, as I think I said before, from Amazing Journey Realty, where we are committed and driven for your success. And essentially, we bring information, news, views about issues related to buyers, sellers, investors. So we do hope you will enjoy this session. Um, the topic for this week is getting ready to sell your house. So this one is mainly for my sellers, and I know that we're going through periods where we're trying to ascertain, is it time to sell? When is the best time to sell? What do I need to do? What do I need? All the different essentials that you need to take into consideration in order to get your house sold. So I'm just going to go through some, highlights as to what it is, the do's and the don'ts in selling your home, or preparing rather to sell your home. So essentially, one of the first things I would say do need to know is, are you ready to sell? What is your motivation? Right? Is it that how do you feel? Are there signs indicating that you are truly ready to sell? Such as, do you feel as though the space is just too small for you or too much for you? For example, are you overwhelmed with doing certain things around the house, in the house, too many stuff on you? Those might be telltale signs that indeed you are ready to sell. All right, so another thing to consider, a do to consider, is, what is your timeline? What is your timeline? Do you want to sell and find something else within the near future, say 30 days, 90 days, a year from now? You have to consider your timeline in order to say, okay, it is time for me to sell. And I'll get to the point over time why it's important to know these and to be aware where you stand before you decide to sell a house, right? Um, there are also the what if scenarios, do's. What if I place my house on the market and it is sold, or I get the best buyer or the best offer, but they want for me to sell within 30 days? Am I ready as a seller? Am I ready? Right? What if I wanted to sell quickly and the buyer who has the best offer wants to sell in 90 days? What if? Are you ready for that? So you have to ask yourselves these questions before you take on this challenge. Do I have somewhere to go when I sell? Am I depending on the proceeds from this sale for the next property? Ask yourselves those questions. Are you ready? Now, you do need to also bear in mind that you have to consider preparing your property for sale. And there are a few things that we would encourage that you take into consideration. And I call them the D's. All right. So I have 4 D's for you. Declutter. How is your space? Can you show your space at this point in time? Do you need to remove something, some items, whether to put to storage or to get rid of? Consider those when you are preparing to sell. All right. Also, depersonalize your space. In preparation for sale, it's always helpful to remove certain items that shows um, some things you can, but just depersonalize it. It doesn't have to be, for example, for the walls, you might like purple, right? And it's possible. You may like purple or red. I'm in red. You might like red, but then maybe for the average buyer, they may not necessarily see the beauty of that property if it's in red or purple. Okay, or that room, or may not enjoy the space. So consider those things part of depersonalization, right? And also, particularly if you have, oh, well, let's go into decor before we get into the other part. So, decor, we talk about a bit painting, maybe the aesthetics. You could consider adding, or changing doorknobs, or maybe checking out the plumbing, that kind of thing to prepare you or into your house for sale. All right. You'll be surprised to know that the little things that you do can make a big difference in how you present your property when you're ready to sell. Another thing, particularly for those who may have pets, it might be helpful to do some checks because while we love our furry friends, they may have a different feel for the average person who's walking in to see your property. And smell, as well as sight and feel, are some emotions that attract buyers to your house. And therefore, you may have to do a little smell check, if that's a better way to put it, right? So I encourage that you also take into that when you are into consideration when you're preparing to sell your house. Now, the don'ts, oh, another do, which I mean, I'll go into that shortly. Well, let's do it as a don't. Don't do it by yourself. Do not try to sell your house by yourself. It is interesting that so many people believe, we can do this on our own, but you realize in due season, and for most for sale by owners, they realize, having gotten into it, that they may not have realized that home selling is far more complicated than it seems. And even though we may see ads out there that I can buy your house and as is, and I would whatever, I'll give you cash for your house, I would not fall for that, because you do have scammers out there who can tell you anything you wish to hear until you get into that contract. And it may cost you far more doing it on your own than if you were with an expert realtor. All right. So try not to do it by yourself. Try not to, it's, as I said, important to seek the competent support and services of a great realtor. And you can tell, remember, check around, always do your research before you decide with whom you will work. Don't assume the price is as your next door neighbors who has just sold their home, which was fully updated or fully renovated, that your house can be sold for the same price as your next door neighbor. All right. And if a house is under contract, it doesn't mean that the asking price that you had seen there is what is the final price at the end of the day. So, or at closing. So if another house is under contract, we cannot assume that that is the final price. All right. And therefore, you should put your house on the market for the price of that updated house next door. All right. So again, you need to get the support of an expert to guide you in the process. Another thing is I've seen and heard of individuals who may look at certain sites and determine, because of the estimated value that is placed on your property, it means that that is indeed the price that you should put on the market for your property. And that not doesn't always is the case. All right, for the most part, it isn't. Essentially, it is the algorithms with houses that were sold within the area that you live. And those houses, these algorithms from the popular websites that you may have gone on would give an estimate as to what your house is. But what if your house had more updates than the others that were sold within the area, right? You'll be undervaluing your house, right? And what if other homes, the opposite is true, other homes were far more updated than yours? Then it means you'll be overvaluing your area and your asking price would be much more than what it should be. So don't assume, okay? Um, Also, I would recommend, when you're preparing to sell, don't leave your valuables or medication um, anywhere. Always place your valuables and medication and other items that mean well to you, because now you're going to have um, visitors coming to your house, people you don't know, and you don't know who and where they're going to be looking. So put away these items out of reach, okay? That's paramount if it is that you wish to sell. So again, bear in mind, these are just highlights. There's so much more to it. Selling is pretty complex. It can be a roller coaster ride emotionally, and therefore you do not want to be in a situation where you end up with certain variables. So it's helpful to speak with a realtor in order to get the job done and done well. Okay, I don't believe I'm leaving anything out. If it is that you have any specific questions, or if you need the support or services that I could possibly give, or my team, then give me or reach out to me, contact me anytime. If you need further advice as to how to prepare your home for sale, remember what I just highlighted. It's just a highlight, just an highlight, right? And therefore, there is more that can take you from preparation to marketing to going through the contract through to selling successfully. With that said, I hope this was helpful for you. And again, call me, ask me anytime, or my team. The details are available. If there's anything else that I can add, I will. Before I go, as always, I like to leave a little tidbit for you. This is motivation for the week. All right. So, my motivation for the week comes from Barbara Johnson. And it says, live for today, but hold your hands open for tomorrow. There is a seed of God's love in every event, every circumstance, every unpleasant and pleasant situation in which you may find yourself. Okay? Live for today. And with that said, I just want to wish you all a safe, because we know it's not, especially for New Jersey, we're going through, and I believe other states over time will be affected by the cold snap. So I encourage you all to be safe if you must go on the roads. And I know we have work, we have, school. Well, I don't know if schools will be open, but, just to bear in mind, your safety comes first. All right. Stay warm, stay blessed, and have a wonderful week. Take care till next time.